All right, Harry, can you elaborate on the greatest commandment for us?
Okay, in Mark 12:30, it says, Love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your soul, all your mind, and all your strength. Have you ever met anybody like that?
Personally, I would say very few, if any, at all.
Yeah, no. What about yourself? How are you on that?
I'm not there yet, to be honest. If I look humbly at myself, I can say that I'm not there yet.
Yeah. A little background on myself on that question. 60 years ago, I had the fear of God. I was raised that way. And I certainly had a great respect and fear for him. But about 30 years ago, I could say I basically had a respect for him. The essence of fear, not so much, more of a respect. In the last 10 years, I've developed a love for the Lord. Have I arrived? Yes and no. My answer yes to all four alls? That would be dishonest. But I really, really do love the Lord, and really because of what He's done in my life and the privileges and the changes, and yeah, it's been really good. Uh, but at age 70, I'm not even where David was at age 17 when he dealt with Goliath. Psalm 23 talks about the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He really had arrived already. And so age is really not the barrier. But I am so grateful that God has spared me to this age, finally at a pleasant place. Where would I have been if I had not gotten the last 20 or 30 years in my life? Not in a good spot. What causes us to love the Lord? Let's go back to David. Um, as he was tending his sheep, he had time to ponder. And that was actually a good career for a young man like that because he used that wisely.
Yeah,
He
exactly
found,
right. Like he's out
yeah,
in the
yeah,
nature, shall we call it, and a lot of time to
yeah.
think and meditate on the word, like he says, you know.
Yeah, the opportunity was there. Not everybody uses that, so he took advantage of that. He saw the beauty of God's creation, and David loved his sheep. He was a good shepherd, and he saw God as his personal shepherd. He was the sheep on that, by going back to the 23rd Psalm. He built his life on that picture and the Psalm. Then the lion came to steal a sheep, and David acted, and God saved him. The bear came, David acted, God saved him. And what a great God was his shepherd. He could see that. And then he met Goliath one day mocking his God, and that was not okay. He was really clear the Lord is my shepherd. Goliath was no match for David's shepherd. And of course, that story turned out appropriately. But how do we get to get our love for the Lord appropriate? And I believe that as we marvel at the kindness in what He has done in my life. What about yours, Justin?
I think the great thing is like that intimacy. That's been really on my mind a lot lately, is that intimacy. The more that we focus on Jesus and be in fellowship with Jesus and the Father, the more that we start to love him. Because like we say before, like our faith is experiential, right? When you start to really see God moving in your life and you just see even the hardships that come your way and how they turn into a blessing, you just start loving on him more and more and more because you see yourself being built up into a character of Jesus. And it's such a privilege and honor to be able to serve such a beautiful God that we do. What do you think? Is that fair to say?
Yeah, yeah, and in our daily lives, we've talked about it. You've talked, we've both talked about that. All these little God moments that happen. Say, wow, okay,
Yeah,
that's
like thank
beautiful.
you, right?
Yeah, no
Exactly.
kidding, that's special. And all these little tidbits, but they really are special. And just and even for myself, just to think back that I've been given long enough to get to this spot where things do make sense, and God is so special, and what a privilege that is, and the joy and the peace I have in my life, that is so special too. That how do we get there? How do we but there's only it's a gift, and we can't we can make efforts to have fun in life, but to have joy in our life, that doesn't there's no other recipe for it. And just all those things, just like David, the 23rd Psalm is finally where I am. Not to his extent. He got, I'll never match that, but still, it really hits home now.
Amen. Thanks a lot for this, Harry.
Thank you.